Hey guys, how are you? How you doing? And welcome to episode 3 of the Sorare Road to Glory on Sorare Josh. This episode is going to be action-packed. We've got our hot streaks from the weekend. We've got wheel spins. We've got the gallery to look at, the future to look into, and even the giveaway for hitting 100 subscribers. So make sure that you do stick around for that. As you can see on the screen, I'm starting to look ahead to the Premier League opening weekend. We will have lots of other competitions still to play all at the same time, as you can see on the screen. But with that forward thinking, let's have a look into the gallery and what we have been doing this week. So as you can see, I've been starting to collect my Crystal Palace limited collection. Picked up a few collection pieces. I had some market credit, and we also managed to get some wheel spins out of it, which we are going to do in a minute. But as you can see, looking at the gallery, since I've last seen you guys, we've managed to craft a couple of cards. We've brought in a few other people. We had to bring in a new striker for our contender team because Zeka was suspended. But I'm really happy with the direction the gallery is heading in. I'm just going to go through it as we talk about it. But a super pickup so far. And I was just speaking to the Panthers in his stream, but Brandon McKellar, I brought him for $4.85. He's now selling for £13, which is basically a hot streak in itself. But all of these types of cards that I have brought, they've either held their value or they have gone up in price. And I'm really happy with that as we come on to the second page of the gallery and start to see our Premier League classics, what we have picked up in the Palace collection from last season. So looking at that and seeing the gallery, let's get into our lineups from the weekend. Let's get into, did we hit our hot streaks or did we not? We had a chance at 3 hot streaks, JPL, Contender and Challenger. And let's start with the JPL. As you can see, the scores were not fantastic. Nyson, our defender, managed to score us 10. Gabriel did concede 3, but because of the not losing the decisive anymore, the negative decisive, he still scored us 37. Hamar got a yellow card after about 6 minutes, and the striker did not score. They were playing Bruges, but McKellar, captain choice, 118 points, and that meant we hit our first threshold in the JPL by 4 points. Thank you very much, $6 in the bank. As we move on to our Challenger lineups, as you can see, Hearts played incredibly well. I managed to get just as many yellow cards as decisives. However, if Braga would have managed to get a goal or assist, it would have been an incredible lineup. But as you can probably guess looking at that, we needed 250 points for the first streak, and we would have got 394 from that, which would have got us our third streak. And I do actually think Hearts have a really nice run of fixtures coming up, which could enable us to go far in the streaks in Challenger. And then this team was a bit like Rolls-Royce at the front and then a Nissan Micra at the back. Didn't do a lot. Sedmiran did get a little bit unlucky against Celtic, but another $6 in the bank. Thank you very much again, Mr. Sorare. Appreciate it. And then we had Contender. And as you can see, there's lots of green there. So I'm not going to tease any longer. We did manage to get it. We needed 300. We got 352. And that means this weekend we can be playing for streak 3. But some really nice scores and some really good captain choices apart from Braga, as you can see. And I'm really happy with that from this weekend. So let's go in, let's claim our money, and what we're going to do is we're going to claim the JPL first. So as you can see, we've kept the streak alive. We're going to choose our reward. We're going to take the $6, and the essence has actually gone up to 1,400, which is interesting. So we're going to take our $6 from that. We'll then claim our Challenger as well, same thing. We'll claim the $6, so that's $12, and then we will also claim the Contender, $10 for the second streak, which is fantastic. And that means we have managed to return $22 from this weekend, which means that we will be playing for in Contender this weekend $50. So that's super exciting. The score does go up by 100 points. So my plan is for this weekend is in this lineup here. We didn't have a great scoring midfielder. Luan Diaz didn't start for some reason. But with the rest of these, what my plan is, Zeka's going to come back in as our striker. And then what I'm going to do is try and get a in-season card who I think will score well this weekend, has a good matchup, and really try and push ourselves to get this $50. So we'll be aiming for that this weekend. So make sure that you keep an eye out for later in the week's video to see what our lineup is going to be. Then we've got Challenger. We're aiming for $10 and the JPL $10 again. But I might look to improve the JPL team a little bit because this score here wasn't great, but they were playing Bruges, and obviously Nikolai Storm has now left to go to Antalyaspor. So what we have got on here is we have got something live here. Let's have a look. We've got a Mega Cart promo. So you can use your cart to purchase 5+ cards in one transaction. You can win 2 tickets to a pre-selected home match for your favourite club, or you can win 500 Essence as a consolidation prize. Check out the list of games. Let's have a look. We're going to do this live in the episode. We've got the Mega Cart, so that would win you tickets. And if you were to be lucky, here, you would win tickets to any of these games, which would be incredible. Palace is against Nottingham Forest, which is really cool. And then Liverpool would be against Bournemouth. So that could be an interesting thing to do. And I just wanted to read that, get that live reaction. But that is really, really cool. And I think that's going to push up the prices of the Premier League cards. It just became cheaper again after the wheel changing. And on that note, let's get into the wheel. Let's get into seeing what we can get from the wheel. And in this, I am going to speak about my Premier League projections and what I'm looking to do. So we've got 189 market credit. I'm just going to let this spin away in the background while I do talk. So what we have got for the Premier League is I was going to play rare this season and limited. And what I have found is that even the average, we might be here all day if I do keep getting spinned again. So let's hope not. But my limited cards, I would have so much more reach with limiteds rather than rares. And I've been scouting all week since the Premier League came out, been looking at the price graphs, looking at absolutely everything. And I'm starting to figure out that rare for me might not be possible, which is totally fine. Because what I'm looking at is the Premier League, and we've not actually hit a miss yet, which is incredible, by the way. But the Premier League, for me, is about fun, but if I do manage to buy the players that I love, being Liverpool, and also having Palace, who are an underrated team, in my opinion, who can score really, really well, and they did. And I've used the calculator. I'm not sure where it actually is on Twitter, but I've used it. Last season with the Palace team I brought at the start of the game, if I would have used that all season long, I actually would have returned nearly double what my Crystal Palace stat cost me. And there is the first miss, but we are going to go into a golden spin. So bear with me, and I'm going to try not to lose my train of thought. But let's watch the golden spin. We're going to get one more golden spin. 250 essence, we will take it. But it gave me so much reach last season and gave me so much enjoyment. And I think Sorare have done such a great job at gamifying the game that I'm not actually too fussed personally about playing rare next season. I am really going to try and get the best limiteds that I can. And you guys will see that either later in this week's episode or next week. But with that, that's going to be some nice market credit. We like that. I think we've got about £10 worth of market credit from this now. So I am going to be looking at picking up some really, really big smashers from the Premier League. So if you guys have any input on that and have any thoughts on what you think I should do, please feel free to drop that down in the comments, because I'm really interested to hear what you guys are doing. Are you starting with 1 team, 2 teams, 3 teams? It's only our second miss. I'm quite impressed. Or are you really, really going for it in that first game week where you've got the 5x streak, you've got everything in your favour, but my only worry is that then the prices will drop. But then the prices for me right now, I think I'm happy to pay with where they're at. And especially a Liverpool team, with watching us in pre-season and being a Liverpool fan myself, is understanding the game and how much that could return us over the season. I'm really, really excited for it. So I'm going to keep doing scouting for this week. I'm going to finish scouting my Premier League players. I'm going to try and scout another contender player because I'm happy with the rest of the team. Challenger, I'm happy with my heart stack. And then JPL, I want to try and get in another player as well and just improve the team. So I'm really looking this week to just improve the gallery, improve the quality, because I'd rather have quality over quantity. That's what I'm finding. Let's do our second golden spin here. Now, I know this has now turned into a bit of a ramble as we go through, and we'll get £15 of market credit. Hello! That will help us for our Premier League buying later in the week. And obviously with that market credit, we've made actually a decent chunk off this. So we've only got a couple of spins left here. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what you guys think down in the comments about what I should do. And I think I've got it in my head now a clear enough plan, but I'm going to keep scouting, keep understanding what I want from the gallery and getting that quality in now and really, really building on it for the Premier League when it starts again in a week and a half's time. I've tried to get through these wheel spins as quick as I can, by the way, and I have rambled, and I know I have. So if you guys are still here, what we will be doing next is the giveaway, because obviously you've just listened to me ramble on. We are now at, I think it's 130-ish subscribers, more market credit, thank you very much. And that blows my mind. Thank you guys so much for the support on these videos. And as I will be able to see here, we now have £32 in market credit, which is really, really good, because for Palace, I need to pick up an Eze, and he's about £40. So that Eze is going to be, well, it's not going to cost us too much. But as you can see here on the screen, Anthony Elanga, I think, is a player who's going to have an absolutely class season for Newcastle. £50 million he signed for them, and I am going to give away Elanga from my collection. So, as you can see, his scores excellently, and joining a better team in Newcastle, I think he'll have a great season. So you guys can either pick to take this Anthony Elanga card, or you can pick to take the value of Elanga. I won't be offended if you don't want him. But all you need to do to enter that giveaway is drop a comment down below with your Sorare username, and I'll pick one of you guys at random, and I will do that before the beginning of the Premier League to make sure that you can improve your squad and have that for them. But as we can see, the rares that I was talking about is even the rares that are not really going to be your Premier League smashers. They're just going to be reasonable rares from the Premier League who aren't probably going to hit your high scores. But looking through here, some of these prices are crazy, and my budget that I had wouldn't reach enough of this to be able to build two enough, or even one probably decent enough team. So that's why I've decided to come away from the idea of rare, because even the players that I spoke about in my scout videos in the youth, Agabadu, Marlon, anyone like that, they're still too expensive for me to be able to do it. But with this, I'm really looking at Liverpool and Palace, and then I'm going to have two extra teams where they're a mix of both, and I'm leaning towards having two duos, and then either a goalkeeper or goalkeeper defender, extra classic smasher, plus a duo. But these Liverpool fixtures against Bournemouth, I think with that 5x, it really should be able to hit this first 360 against Bournemouth, which would return us $25. Then I'm looking and I'm thinking, right, $380 in this second week. Palace play Forest at home. Okay, Palace could do that. We play Newcastle away, which is a tough game. But I'm really looking at the fixtures and I'm thinking, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, would I be able to get these? And I don't think it's unachievable with getting real quality into the gallery. So on the video coming up later in the week, you'll see the lineups that I do have, maybe see some of the Premier League scouting I've done. But thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble on in this video. We've ended up with £32 market credit, plenty of essence going forward, only 115 off of another craft. We've got 6,000 XP and the gallery is looking fantastic. And as you can see, if we give this a quick refresh, we've now got the extra money from hitting our streaks as well. And that is super exciting. And the gallery is just building all the time. And coming up to the Premier League weekend, we should have a gallery that is ready to challenge right up there and hopefully give us some good returns. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give it a massive thumbs up, and let me know your strategy heading into the Premier League weekend and for this weekend down in the comments. See you later.